The Friday Morning Rant with Shane Halfyard contains coarse language, adult themes, and satire humor. So if this isn't for you, piss off, Jack. You're on the wrong show. Well, welcome to the Friday Morning Rant with Shane Halfyard. It is Friday, March the 1st, 2019. I apologize for not being around for a couple of weeks. A couple things kept coming up. One, I got really sick, and I mean really sick, and I think almost everybody in the household was affected. And two, I kept getting the blue screen of death. But my buddy Mark fixed that for me, so thanks, Mark. Oh, also, today's the day I draw out of the three big names that submitted emails to me with questions and show ideas. Stay to the end of the show for that. So, before we get on my main topic, a couple of things I want to talk about. Number one. Guys, does this happen to every guy out there? Every dad. I'm talking to all the dads out there. All you dads. Okay? Does your youngest kid kick you in the nuts or smack you in the nuts on a regular basis? Is it like a magnet down there for your child's fist, foot, elbow, knee, whatever? Have you noticed that? I was taking a nap on Saturday. Alright? I was having a good day, you know. Cassandra was playing with her oldest brother, Marcellus. So no, couldn't be Saturday. It had to be Sunday. Yeah, because Marcellus is away on the weekends. He visits his mom. So it was on a Sunday. All right, let's get that clear. So on a Sunday, Cassandra was playing with her brother, Marcellus. Right? He's 23, and he likes to, whatever game she wants him to play, and she watches, and, they do all that kind of stuff. So I took that opportunity to lay down. So I took a little nap, I roll over, and she's sitting next to me on her tablet. I go, how long have you been here? She said, a little while. I said, okay, that's fine. So we start talking, and she rolls over to snuggle me, and just, bap, top of her foot, right in my dick. Okay? And she knows she did it. She goes, I'm sorry. And then I went, it's all right, honey. If I wasn't awake, I am now. And then she starts laughing her ass off. And I was like, I go, why do you do this all the time? Why do you do it? And as she's giggling, she goes, I don't know. So I'm just asking her. And women, do the kids hit you in the boob once in a while? Does that happen to you girls too? I'm just curious. Is this just me or is this a conspiracy from all the little kids out there? No, hold on. Yes? Door's open. Hey, sweetie. What do you need?
I'm hungry.
Okay, well, let me finish my rant. Say hi to the audience.
Hi!
And then I will get you something to eat, okay?
Okay.
All right. You're going to have to go, though, because I'm going to be saying some coarse language. Okay? I don't want you to give me the stink eye. All right, you go play and I'll make something real soon. Thank you. Love you. And that was Cassandra. She's home today, not feeling her best. So, yeah, like I said, it's like a magnet. The kids just hit our vital organs, accidentally. Do you think? Oh, God. I'm just saying. Another thing I wanted to talk about is I had the most messed up dream the other day. Okay? The most complete and utterly messed up dream. And I have no idea what it means. So if any of you out there analyze dreams or understand dreams or have any theories, feel free to let me know. Okay? Because this is it. In my dream, I'm laying down in bed. I look over. So I must have my glasses on in my dream or something because, it's interesting that I can see in my dream. So I look over and I see Ernie from Sesame Street, a plush toy of him, big plush toy, sitting on top of the counter or cupboard or... That's a bookshelf. My God, Shane, learn to talk. Damn it. Anyway, so he's sitting on top of my bookshelf. And he's just sitting there, And I went, Ernie! Ernie! And all of a sudden, Ernie turns his head and looks down at me. And I went, fuck you, Ernie. What? Why'd I do that? I woke up. That's what I woke up. But why Why did I tell Ernie fuck you? I remember growing up loving Ernie. Like, I loved Ernie. I loved Bert and Ernie, right? But I loved Ernie because he's always getting the best of Bert. Right? In fact, I can remember my very favorite Sesame Street scene. Right? And they're out fishing. Okay? They're out fishing, and Bert has, the standard, fishing cap on while the hook's in it and lures and all that stuff. And he's got a rod. And Ernie has the same type of fishing cap on, but he's just sitting there hanging out, chilling. No fishing rod. And Bert goes, Ernie, where's your fishing rod? He goes, oh, I don't need a fishing rod. I'm going to get all the fish I need. And how are you going to do that? Well, I got a fish call. You can't call a fish, Ernie. And Bert goes, I can, Bert. I can do that, Bert. And then he leans over and he goes, yeah, fishy, 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 fishy. And flop, a fish comes into the boat. And when I was a kid, I thought that was comedic gold. I guess I still do. I'm still laughing at it. So I don't understand why I told Bernie, fuck you. So, maybe you guys can tell me that. Somebody out there. Well, on to the main topic, which is feminism. Boo, fellas. Scary word, isn't it, feminism? Terrified. I bet half you guys shit yourself right now. I'm looking at you, Josh. Oh, God, if Josh hears this, he's going to kill me. Excuse me. So, feminism, I guess to some men out there, has probably always been a bad word. Those who didn't want to change the status quo. But there were three waves to feminism, okay? The first wave was in the late 1800s to the early 1900s. And that was for basically legal equality. Right to vote, right to a job, right to be protected so their man don't generally beat the piss out of them. Things like that. And that's 100% cool with me because everyone should have those rights. And then wave 2 was in the 1960s to the 1980s, where they were challenging the gender roles. Showing that women can be a powerful force in the workforce, political, and all that jazz. And then wave 3 seems to be, now this is because my vague understanding, and I'm paraphrasing a lot of this because none of this is funny, but it seems to be a continuation of wave 1 and 2 with the ability to fix any minor mistakes and mistakes they've made in the past, and to continue on, fighting the good fight. Should feminism exist? Of course it should, but it shouldn't be strictly a feminist rule. In my opinion, there shouldn't be groups only for feminists. There shouldn't be groups only for black rights. There shouldn't be a group only for this and only for that. It should be one big group taking care of everybody, right? And I realize that is probably a pipe dream. I realize that is most likely not doable. These are just my ideas. I'm spitballing because I believe everyone should have the equal rights that are, meant for everyone. Yeah. See how inspiring I am? My point is, I honestly, truly believe that everyone should be treated equally in all aspects. But that ain't happening. Now, I'm going to talk about the feminists in my life, the ones I've met in person, and then some of the ones I've seen online. Because you see, the very first feminist I've ever met and knew and loved was my mom. Okay? And how she approached feminism is, if you want equal rights, then you have to take the good with the bad. Okay? Which means you can't, like in her opinion, you couldn't ask a man out on a date and then expect him to pay. You couldn't expect the man to do all the providing. You couldn't expect the man to do everything in the relationship, protecting, all that stuff. My parents, they were high school sweethearts. In fact, I think they started dating before high school. They were very young because I think my mom was 16 when she had me. So they were very young when they started dating. And my mother would never let my dad get into a fight by himself. Okay, just wouldn't happen. There were times my dad had to pull my mother away, right? And these are stories from my mother, my father, my uncles, people who were around. I mean, I wasn't old enough to remember any of this stuff, but there was a time when a handful of guys were after my dad, and they didn't. The reason why they're after my dad is my mom's a native, and my dad's white. So these native guys felt that my dad shouldn't be dating a native girl, right? So my dad used to have to get into a fist fight every once in a while just to get to visit my mother. And then once in a while they would try to fight my dad in front of my mom. Well, one day my mother, she grabs 2 Coke bottles. Now that doesn't sound dangerous now because all the Coke bottles are plastic. But you got to remember, this is in the early 80s where they were all hard glass, right? And she was going to swing for the fences. She was going to bust some heads. In fact, she's the one that told me how to use a glass bottle in a fight. She said, Shane, do not break the bottle and try to cut someone. Break the bottle on their face and then try to cut someone. Oh, Mom, the things you've taught me. So she's ready to go, right? But the first time I realized that she believed in equal rights was a very young age. And she believed in totally equal rights. Not just, oh, I want to be paid the same, but I don't want to pay for my drinks at the bar. I want to be consulted, but I want him to pay for everything. I want to be treated as an equal in the workforce, but I will not pick up a weapon and help my man defend the household. She wasn't one of those women, right? She didn't like to pick and choose. She wanted the whole kit and caboodle, good, bad, and the ugly. And she felt that that's how it should be. So, when I was probably 9, maybe 10, we used to visit my grandmother every weekend. And she lived in an apartment building. Now, I had 2 grandmothers. Now, we used to visit one or the other every weekend, I should say. One weekend, we'd visit my dad's mom, whom I called Nanny H, because I'm original, and her last name's Halfyard. And then we used to visit my grandparents on the Killarney, and who I just called Nanny, right? So I had a Nanny and a Nanny H. Well, when we ever go visit Nanny H, I would go in and say hi to her, but she would always encourage me to go outside and play with the kids out there. A lot of kids in that apartment building. Well, there's one girl. She deemed it in her God-given right to beat the living hell out of me every time I showed up. I don't know what it is. Maybe I got one of those faces that just makes you want to hit it. That could be it, I can't really see myself in a mirror, but, we'll say that could be it. So, anywho, she wanted to beat the living piss out of me every time she saw me. And my dad was always raising me, don't hit girls, don't hit girls, don't hit girls. If you hit a girl, I'll hit you, blah, blah. And, that's his, his way of being. That's how he felt it should go. Ba-dum-bum. So, terrified of my father. When that girl beat the living hell out of me, I tried to walk away, and she keeps hitting me, and this was going on. Oh, and my dad said, don't rat kids out either. So I never told on her. Because, that was his way of thinking. You don't tell on people. Well, my mother comes out and she sees this girl working me over. And she goes, Shane, you get over here. So I went over there and said, hey, Mom, why is that girl hitting you? I'm not sure why. And I really wasn't. I mean, I had a mouth, but I always tried to be polite to her because I was trying to avoid the ass whooping. So my mom goes, huh. She goes, Shane, I'm going to tell you something right now. You don't put up with that. You don't put up with that from anyone. I don't care if it's man or woman. She goes, if she's hitting you, you hit her back. I was like, my eyes got big. But Dad, she goes, you don't worry about your dad. I'll handle your dad. She goes, you don't let someone beat the hell out of you. Never let anybody beat the hell out of you. And she's saying this loud enough so the young girl could hear me. Hear her. Me. Yeah, she could. She goes, if that little girl can hit you, then she can take it. If she can dish it out, she can take it. But then she leaned in and whispered, but do not hit her like you'd hit a boy. Just give her a smack to say, stop hitting me. I was like, all right then. And, of course, magically, that girl decided hitting me was a bad idea once she understood that I had permission to defend myself. So I never actually had to hit her. But I started thinking about that. And I started thinking, as I got older, I was like, yeah, I mean, that is a stupid way of thinking we men have. Like, we men have a very dumb way of thinking when it comes to the opposite sex. We're always thinking, oh, we never should hit a girl. We should never hit a girl. We should never hit a girl. If she hits me, I'm just going to walk away. And I agree. If you can walk away from the situation, walk away. But Jesus, man, if I want to kill you, I could just send a girl after you. And you won't do nothing to defend yourself. So it's a dumb way of thinking. It really is. Am I promoting violence towards women? No. I am promoting defend yourself against anyone. Okay? There is a strong difference. Listen to me carefully. I am not promoting violence towards women. I am promoting self-defense against any attacker, any shape, form, or size. And also use your reasoning. If the person who's attacking you only weighs $1.05 and you are, $2.25, don't haul off and punch that person, male or female. Just defend yourself enough to get away from the situation. All right? So now we got that clear. The last thing I need is a bunch of torches and pitchforks again. The funny thing is, I don't get these pitchforks and torches. My big controversial thing was my comment on the Gillette video, and a buddy of mine shared it, and he's the one that got shat on. No one even approached me. In fact, when I started arguing with a couple of them, they shut down. They had no counter argument for me. So, like I said, I am not promoting violence towards women. I am promoting to defend yourself. I don't really want to promote violence of any kind. Jesus, how many years in the martial arts? Decades in the martial arts has taught me that violence isn't good. It's fun for a tournament or a match, but other than that, no. So my mom was the first feminist I've ever met, right? Now, the second feminist I came across in my life was actually my ex-girlfriend, Eleanor's mom. Her name is Sharon. Now, she and I, we have our differences. We obviously didn't make it for a reason, okay? But I will tell you one thing about her that I've always respected, and she was one of those feminists, like my mom, that she believed in equal rights in all things, okay? For example, if she invited me to a movie, she paid for the treats. She paid for the snacks. If she wanted to go do something, I didn't have any money, she paid for it, no problem. The only thing, and I don't even consider this not feminism, that she would do is we relied on each other's strengths, okay? And what I mean by that is if she couldn't move the fridge, she got me to move the fridge, right? There's an incident. Now, this is really funny. She believed that I was the one that was meant to protect the household simply because, at the time I was 230 pounds of muscle and teaching Kung Fu and Sambo and doing all that fun stuff, right? So one night, I'm sleeping, okay? And it was a good sleep. And then I get shaken awake and I hear, honey. Oh, huh? What? She goes, I think there's someone outside. Okay. Go out there and check. But they're outside. That's where they belong. Wake me up when they come inside. And I try to go back to sleep. But, fellas, if you've been married or in a relationship for any length of time, if your woman doesn't want you to sleep, you ain't getting back to sleep. So, me and my dog Kane, we went outside. And the moment I stepped outside, the door slammed fast behind me and the deadbolt was shuttered. I guess the serial killer was only going to get me. He would have to work to get her. So I got my dog riled up. I'm like, come on, we're going to kill him. We're going to kill him. We're going to get him. We're going to get him. And Kane's like, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Ruff, ruff, ruff. So I point to Kane to go around one side of the house and I go around the other side. Well, as I'm going around the other side, my vision's very poor, but the moon was very bright. And my dog is sitting there wagging his tail, looking down at something. I'm like, what the hell is he looking at? What's he wagging? Whatever's out here should be dead by now. So I go up to where he is, and there's this elderly gentleman laying in my yard, seemingly in a lot of pain. I go, what happened? And the old man goes, I fell. Now, my old house used to be right next to a church. Now, my yard was sunken down so that you had to look up to see inside the church's parking lot. So cars wouldn't drive off into my yard. They had this large wooden rail in front of my yard and on the parking lot. Well, what the old man told me was he was stumbling home drunk from a party, a bar, wherever, and he went to rest his hand upon the rail. He missed it and went whoop right over the rail and landed in my yard. So I helped him up, and there was an apartment buildings near my home, just across the street and up a little bit. And that's where he lived. And I helped him to his apartment. He was very thankful, but he was also embarrassed. But there was nothing, that's what came of it. So that's where she drew the line. She knew we played to each other's strengths. If I couldn't find something, she'd find it. If I needed help looking something up in the phone book or whatever, she did that. Because of my poor vision, she helped me with those things. Because of my size and strength, I helped her with anything she needed, moving couches, whatever. But that isn't to say that, say anything negative. She still believed in being, equal rights and feminism and all that good stuff. And then I met this other young woman. Now, this other young woman showed me that there are some very strange birds in this world, okay? She was over visiting one of my roommates, right? She was around Sharon's age. Actually, I went to high school with her as well. And she was on welfare. Now, I am not putting down anybody on welfare, especially if you're using it right. She was actually using it right. I think she was attending school, because I think she has a university degree now. And I think she was just using welfare to get the education she needed and the help she needed to move on. I don't think the boy's father was involved in his life, which is a shame, his loss. So she was using welfare for what it was meant for. She was using it to get on her feet, and she did. And she succeeded in that. So that's not what, I'm not putting her down for that. But she was on welfare, and she was living in a housing area that was for the poor. And she goes, this guy in my apartment, Sharon, asked me out on a date. He said, how about we go to McDonald's and then a movie? Can you believe that? Right? And Sharon said, what's wrong with that? And that's when I was very happy that I was with a girl like Sharon than this girl. Because Sharon said, this man works very hard for what little money he makes, and he's willing to spend it on you to get to know you. And this girl was like, well, I'm worth more than that. And she's not. She's not. No. Because what she felt was she looked good enough to be worth more than that. Okay? And, okay, if we're going to go in a looks department, she's not an ugly girl, but there's no way she's worth, she's not sugar baby status. Okay? I'll tell you about a sugar baby here in a second. So, they were never really, really friends anyway, and Sharon didn't care if the girl ever talked to her again. But Sharon said, I don't believe that that's right, that you're putting this man down because he's doing honest work for an honest day pay, and he's willing to spend some money on you and be with you. Now, this girl, she wanted a guy with some money. She wanted a guy with this, and I think she got a nice guy. I don't think he makes a hell of a lot of money, but he's a good guy. And his job is steady and respectable. So that's fine. She kind of got what she wanted. But she's definitely not sugar baby status. Okay? First of all, most sugar babies don't have kids. Second of all, they don't have little pregnancy rolls or going over their over their jeans. All right? They take pride in their appearance at all times. Okay? And I'm going to talk about this sugar baby I met. All right? Trophy wife. Right? Me and my wife, Girlie, were at a Valentine's Day dinner. And this older gentleman, probably in his 50s, showed up with this beautiful Filipina. I mean, tiny and tight and sexy. Honey, that doesn't mean you're not tiny, tight, and sexy. All right? I know you listen to these. Please don't stab me in the ear while I'm sleeping. I'm just telling a story. Anyway, she's a gorgeous girl. And as soon as I met, I said, that's a fine trophy wife you have, sir. And of course, my wife pinches me. I'm like, what? Why are you mad at me? It's obvious. And it became more obvious because another couple at this dinner was his daughter. And his daughter was older than his trophy wife. So we're at this dinner, and it's obvious that this girl is his trophy wife. It is obvious. Right? But now, any ladies out there that want to be a sugar baby or a trophy wife, learn from this girl. Okay? I imagine, I don't know for sure, but I imagine the deal was this. They met online. He went to the Philippines to meet her. He promised her to get her into Canada if she would be, take care of his needs in and out of the bedroom. Okay? So I imagine that's what the deal was. And they got married. They brought her here. Now that she is a full-blown Canadian, they have now filed for divorce. So I imagine the contract or their deal has been fulfilled. But while that deal was going on, this girl, she came to play. Okay? She knew what she was there for. She accepted it and excelled at it. That man, she would post on Facebook. She'd be dressed as like a sexy cop, a sexy nurse. She was taking pole dancing lessons. She was taking, other belly dancing lessons. Like when he came home, she took care of him because he was taking care of her. Do I agree with this arrangement? Why not? I do. If both parties are agreed to it and there are no children involved and nobody's going to get hurt, there's nothing wrong with it. Could I do this arrangement? Probably not. I do view sex as a form of intimacy that I still have to be, when I was younger I could have done it. But at my age now, I'm kind of became a bit of a pussy and I don't want to have sex with every single girl I meet. I just want to be with a woman that I'm comfortable with. Right? So, no, I couldn't do this arrangement now. But do I put them down for it? No, they're not hurting anybody. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? And I think that a feminist, a real one, would respect her for that. She was in a very poverty-worn country. She found her way out. Now she's on her own. She's working. She has her own boyfriend that's, not her sugar daddy. And she's doing well. And feminism, I think, is a choice. And a choose to live your life without having to be, ripped on for it. And I do not rip on her, this girl, for it. I respect her. So. Then there is the feminist like I told you that came to my house. She's one of those people that believe a man should do everything for her. And she didn't have to pay it back. Sexist doesn't have to be on the table, blah, 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 blah. And then that's a bit of a greedy person, but is not as crazy as the other ones I've dealt with, right? And we've all seen the YouTube videos of those angry feminists out there that, go completely apeshit crazy, right? And that's what's scaring men nowadays, okay? Because there are a lot of keyboard warriors on both sides of the fence. And what is scaring men is that they think all feminists are like those women out there who seem to be very angry plus-size women. And that's what they seem to show. They seem to only show these angry feminists who are very heavily built. And I'm not putting that down. I will never put down somebody for their size. But it just seems to be the stereotype. Plus-size woman, pissed off, screaming, not making sense. Well, that is not feminism. Okay, that is not a feminist. That is not every feminist out there, fellas. So calm down. Don't be afraid of a feminist. Right? Be supportive of them. Because what you're viewing, it would be like saying the grand dragon of the KKK represents all white people. Okay? It's not so. right? That's just one nut. So don't let the YouTube video is people on YouTube are looking to be entertained. So a lot of times they're going to be the popular videos are going to be the angry, heavy-set feminist girls, right? And they're going to be pissed off and they're screaming, and it's fucking ridiculous the stuff they're saying. Step back from that and realize that isn't all women, okay? Because there is a movement out there called Men Going Their Own Way, and I'm going to talk about that next week. But that's being formed because a lot of them are getting hurt by women, okay? A lot of them. You know, and if everything's going to be equal, then one side shouldn't be more favorable than another. So men shouldn't be getting hurt by women, and women shouldn't be getting hurt by men. And if this was a perfect world, we could stop that like that. And I would love to be able to help stop that. But understand that when you make videos about these heavy-set girls, like this is one guy, he keeps calling them land whales and fat and big, and he keeps putting them down like crazy. Well, that isn't helping us as men, okay? That's just you trying to get a bunch of followers, trying to get, and you did, you know, I've got 6, you got like 1 million, so good on you. But that isn't helping, okay? Make some jokes, crack some wise, do all that jazz. I like making jokes myself and having some fun with stuff. But when you start attacking their character and their appearances and not their views, you are lowering yourself to a degree that is not fitting and not worth following. Okay? I'm a firm believer that if you want to attack the facts, you attack the facts. You know. Now, some of you might have read a comment that someone made to me about my Gillette thing, and he was putting me down, and I teased him and asked him, you know, where's his nuts at, in his mom's purse or his wife's? But that was a joke. Then I came back with another comment where I took him very seriously, right? Because all kidding around aside, I don't want to take away from those issues. But you gotta get it here. Come on, folks. Those angry feminists like that are constantly screaming and yelling, they're not the majority of feminists. And there are some strong women out there that don't consider themselves feminists. I watched an interview of Judge Judy where a woman asked if she's a feminist, and she goes, no, I'm not. She didn't believe in feminism. Or, well, that's the impression she gives. She didn't come out and say she didn't believe in feminism. But she said, I've never seen myself as a feminist. I see myself as a judge first, a female second. And she's talking about the Me Too movement and how men are afraid to be men. When she was a lawyer, she'd walk into a courtroom, sit down and wear a skirt, and the judge would say, you have some nice legs. And she goes, I just said thank you, and I moved on. Now, should he have said that in the court setting? Of course not. I agree that there's a time and place for flirting, and that isn't it. In front of the jury and other people is not it. But she handled it. She knew at the time where she was at. She knew it was an all-boys club, and she handled it with strength, poise, and dignity. And that's why she's still one of my heroes to this day. You know? I love that woman. In fact, Judge Judy, if you're into younger men who happen to be very, very overweight and blind, give me a call. Yeah, right. Again, that was a joke, honey. Girlie, sweetie, angel. Don't hurt me. So it's my God. So yeah, in conclusion, look, don't think what's going on the internet is what feminism's all about. All right. Yes, there are some effed up laws that still need to be changed. Alimony needs to be getting rid of. The fact that the wife will get the house and you have to move out when you have that needs to be getting rid of. Divorce needs to be taken into a more serious realm of equality. Those type of things need to be handled and need to be changed. All right? Those laws were made when women weren't allowed to work, and they haven't been updated And there are some feminist movements out there that are working on keeping them that way. Which is a shame, because that really doesn't show how strong you are as an independent woman. It just shows that you're greedy. In my opinion, that's what it shows. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not bright. I like to think I'm smart, but maybe I'm not. So, yeah. Everyone should take a step back. Reevaluate what they believe. And understand that being equal should be the ultimate goal. Anyway, that's it for now. Time to do the old draw that I said would happen today. Now, for those of you who are new to the show, if you submit a topic idea, a question, a video, something for me to comment on, and I read it up and I do it on the show, you will be put down for a draw, a weekly draw of $25, a gift card of your choice. If you win or lose, or whatever, if you submit anything at all, right, you will also be put in for the draw for the end of the year for a $100 gift card of your choice. And all you have to do to enter is 1, subscribe if you haven't already. 2, fire off an email to shanehalfyard@hotmail.com. Put in the subject, Ask Shane. Ask your question, give your topic idea, whatever. And at the end of it, before you sign your name, say, I'm a subscriber, and then sign your name. You can also leave a comment down below. Put Ask Shane, and then put the comment. Put I'm a subscriber, and you're in. Okay? You can also contact me on Facebook. My contact information on Facebook will be in the link down below. And you will be put into the draw if I read your email or comment online. But you have to be a subscriber. I want my channel to grow. Don't say you're a subscriber if you're not. I only got 6, and I know all 6 of them. So I'll know if you're screwing with me. It's not like I got like a million of them out there, and you could just wing it. So yes. And if you found this video entertaining at all, hit that like button. Again, subscribe, share, comment down below, send me an email. Love to hear from you. Anyway, I had 3 submissions this week. So let's just... Okay. And the winner is... Jem. All right, Jem. You have won $25 gift card. I will be contacting you by the end of today. And I will send it out to you. So, enjoy. I honestly thought it was going to be another friend of mine. He submitted 2 things, but nope, I guess not. Sorry, strange man that lives in my house. It was Jem. So, next week I'm talking about the Me Too movement. Not Me Too, sorry. Me Too is going to be another topic. Men going their own way. That's what I want to talk about. The men going their own way movement next week. Do I agree with it? Do I not? Let's find out. Anyway, until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.